This character, I don't know huge amounts about, but I do know that he's been in the game for a long, long time. And I do know one thing. My dad told me personally that he was a big, big instigator and pusher for the war in Iraq. And he also wanted, I think personally, a war with Kim Jong Un in North Korea. Uh, so I'm gonna try to keep my own personal biases out of it, but I am not gonna lie to you and tell you that I like the guy. I don't. And personally, I don't care if you have a D or an R next to your name. If you're doing something wrong, get out. I don't want you. I don't want you in. So we're gonna actually hop into this.
We're back with the Fox News alert. We're just learning the FBI agents have raided the Maryland home of former Trump National Security Advisor John Bolton. It happened at 7 a.m. this morning.
Shortly after the raid began, FBI Director Kash Patel posting on X, quote, "No one is above the law. FBI agents on a mission."
Ooh, he's cooked pretty soon, boys. You know, don't expect to attack someone and use every single weapon that you have in your system, legal or not. Sometimes I would say the latter. Can't prove those, but that's just what I believe. And you can't expect that same person that you attack not to use those same tools against you. I mean, that's all I'm saying.
David Spunt joins us now with more on this breaking news. Hey, David.
Hey, guys, not much we can say at this point, but information will continue to develop. As you mentioned, about 7 o'clock this morning, FBI agents raided Ambassador Bolton's home. Notable, we're being told by two government sources that they are looking for classified documents as part of a potential leak investigation. We're told that Ambassador Bolton is not in custody. He's not under arrest, but it is notable they are at his Maryland home right now. We don't know how many agents are there. We're waiting to get a picture of the scene coming in right now, but we're told Ambassador Bolton, who was just on TV on another network a couple days ago talking about the Russia-Putin-Trump summit, is now under FBI investigation. Now, I want to be clear, these are long, and we're looking at some live photographs right now in Bethesda.
Well, the whole Russia thing, that was debunked like a long time ago. And the fact that if there's any still remnants of any news organization that's still pushing that narrative, it should be embarrassing at that point for them. So I don't know why they're doing that. Secondly, if he's not supposed to have documents and he has documents and there's actually a potential leak, put the guy in jail, put him up for questioning, put him through discovery, and check him out and see what you have. And if you actually have something, I want you to charge him with every possible charge you can so you can make an example out of him. I don't care if he has a Republican or Democrat name next to him. If he's doing something bad, he should be treated as such. Just because he's wearing a nice black suit doesn't mean he shouldn't be treated as a criminal.
That's clearly the
only if he's actually committing acts of criminal, mischief. Now, again, I'm not a police officer. I don't know exactly how all that works. I'm just giving my opinion.
The road where Ambassador Bolton lives, and you can see some police cars outside there. But, this is going to be a long process. We saw the raid of former Trump advisor Roger Stone's home down in Florida several years ago. Eventually, he went to trial. We saw famously in August of 2022, exactly 3 years ago, a little bit more than 3 years ago, the raid on Mar-a-Lago.
Again, you can't expect to use weapons. You can't expect to use weapons on an enemy and then expect them not to use those same weapons against you. Guys, the natural response to this is this. It's this or this. That's a natural response. There's nothing weird about that. That's the natural response since like more than thousands, billions of years ago. That's been the natural response since the beginning of time. from my perspective. So, I mean, again, I'm really not surprised that Trump's going after the specific people that have been dragging his name through the mud, only if they have actually committed bad acts with red tape wrapped in a pretty bow. I don't care that your bad act is wrapped in red tape that's in a pretty bow. It's still a bad act. Bad act.
That still has the FBI in hot water. That's a little bit of a different situation as it was a former president, but it deals with classified documents, guys.
So I did not realize this, but there was a probe going on when President Trump was in office last time because John Bolton wrote a book. And he violated his NDA, the president said, in doing it. And he felt as though there were classified information in that book. The probe dropped when Joe Biden became president. So is this picking up where that left off, David?
It's possible. I don't know with 100% certainty, but it is notable, guys, that John Bolton, Ambassador Bolton's security clearances were stripped earlier this year by President Trump. Tulsi Gabbard, the director of national intelligence, took that security clearance away. They had concerns. The administration had concerns about Ambassador Bolton still being able to access some of these documents and have some of those security clearances. It's also notable that John Bolton had a security detail as well. Because of the threats from Iran on his life, that security detail, that government federal paid security detail, was also taken away by President Trump. So Bolton was to have to get some private security. So we're looking.
Whoa, wow, wow, wow. The billionaire is going to have to actually hire some private security. This guy's been sucking on the government teat for like 30 plus years. When was the last time this guy actually had a job? Like a genuine job out of politics, something that he made with his hands, or something that he helped build inside or out of a company.
Looking outside this home right now in Bethesda, Maryland, we're told that Ambassador Bolton's being cooperative. He's not under arrest, not in custody at this point, but still notable, 7 o'clock on a Friday morning.
That's not surprising.
That the FBI all of a sudden is knocking on the door of John Bolton's home. And I also will say it's important that, you know, this is not just the FBI able to do this. A judge has to sign off on this. There are other layers involved here. It's not just the FBI says, let's go to John Bolton's house tomorrow morning and see if he has any classified documents. There are
Obviously, it's not as simple as that. There's things that are planned, and they execute those plans. And quite frankly, this particular person, I'm not shocked they've gone after. I'm actually surprised they took this long to go after. I'm not gonna lie. Here's my personal opinion. I think Trump should be meaner. I think Trump should be more ruthless. I think he should be more just. I don't think he should really care about what the news is going to say. I don't think he already does, but I think he should care less.
certainly more procedures in there. A judge.
Go after every single one of them that went after you, and if there is actually any credibility to their crimes, treason them, publicly, figuratively hang them. Don't physically, figuratively hang them. Hang them out to dry in the public eye. You do that a couple of times, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, the shit stops.
And others would have had to sign off on this, as well as people at the Justice Department, presumably Attorney General Pam Bondi. No comment right now, though, from the Justice Department.
I'm not a big fan of her.
From the FBI as well.
So this started 40 minutes ago, and so agents are still, we believe, in the house right now going through things?
That's what we're told. Yes, absolutely. They're going through things. It's not clear if he's still on scene, if he's in the house while this is happening. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes the subject who owns the home or owns the property is not there. We know during the raid at Mar-a-Lago, President Trump was not even there at all. It was the summer, and he doesn't live at Mar-a-Lago in the summer. So it's not
probably
clear
too
if
hot.
Ambassador Bolton was even home. We're working to find that out. But we know that he was just, this is his primary residence. This is where he lives. He does TV appearances. He's still out and about. So it's unclear exactly where he is right now, but I'm just told he's not in custody. This deals with classified records, potential classified records, and, at which point we'll see down the line if a grand jury feels there is enough evidence for charges. But this is really the first step in what could be a long process, because they have to bring, first of all, agents have to sift through this information, go through all of this information. That could take weeks, that could take months. Then they present that information to a grand jury. A grand jury would say we have what's called a true bill, which means an indictment. And then
Yeah, and they go through discovery and they figure out all the evidence and they actually see if they have something.
and the court proceedings happen. So I don't want to get over my skis and predict that that's going to happen. May not happen, but it's still notable.
Here's what I think is going to happen. I think he has some shit he shouldn't have. That's taking my personal beliefs into it. Taking my personal beliefs out of it. We'll have to see. I don't 100% know. Do I think he's a bad actor in pushing for war? Absolutely, 100%. Do I think he's a bad actor in sucking the government teat for about 30 years, being a politician and not actually working forever? Yes, I think he's a bad actor who is completely not in the real world of the average Walmart American. That's what I think. Past all that, I can't actually say he is a fact of a matter of a person who is being a bad actor, but I think he is. I can't confirm it, but I think he is.
This is going on right now.
In these
So right down to my opinion, I think they're going to drag him all the way through it, and I think they'll find something. Flip it, do whatever you want with it. I might be wrong.
The New York Post is reporting that they busted into his home in Bethesda, Maryland. Would that, in a raid normally, do they have how do they get in the house? Would they ring the doorbell first and
they fucking knock?
Correct.
Man.
Yeah, that's usually what it is. I mean, they would ring the doorbell. I mean, that's the proper way that agents usually handle these situations. There's usually kind of a de-escalation of these things before tensions rise. And sometimes if they need to bust through the door. I've not confirmed that independently that they busted through the door. I'm not sure if it was any sort of ramrod or anything like that. So I don't want to get ahead of it. But that is possible. Yes, they will if they feel that they have probable cause to get inside and need to get inside. I will note we've not heard from Ambassador Bolton yet. I'm sure we will through his attorney or possibly himself. So it's something we're going to watch and see what he has to say. But as of now, this is still going on, 42 minutes or about 45 minutes or so into this on a Friday morning in a busy news cycle here in Washington, D.C.
So, obviously this comes after there's been renewed scrutiny of James Comey, former FBI director, and some of the...
I'm surprised they haven't gone after him next. That guy... I'll leave my opinions to myself on that one for now.
The leaks that
That's
came
for a
from
later
his
video.
office. Do we have any sense that there are other figures that the FBI is looking at as part of this investigation?
Well,
Who's that lady?
It's not clear what this investigation is specifically, but yes, you're right that Fox has reported independently, yes, that agents are looking at James Comey. They're looking at, when I say agents, I should say the Department of Justice, looking at James Comey, looking at James Clapper, looking at John Brennan. Clapper was the former Director of National Intelligence. John Brennan, former CIA Director. So it's not clear if this is related to that, because John Bolton kind of hung in different circles than Comey and Clapper. He was on the inside during the first Trump administration as his national security advisor. So I'm not exactly sure if this...
And then he got fired, then he got butthurt, then he got mad. And then he started chit-chatting. Big mistake. Big mistake. When you take an L from Donald, you just take the L and you walk away. Try to learn something from it.
This is related to that, but it's notable this is
prime
related
example
to
of someone who did
it
the
looks
opposite.
like there was someone there in the front door. I'm not exactly sure who that is when the
We
camera...
were seeing FBI agents walk in, and then someone walked in. It looked like a female in civilian clothes, but it looked like she was holding papers, so maybe she works for the government.
Could be, yeah, could be, exactly.
Thank you so much.
No problem. When we find out more, we'll let you know. You bet.
John Bolton was a contributor here for years. He was a vital member of the Bush administration, and when he walked in to help President Trump, there was a lot of optimism there would be a good match. They did some good things. He said, I was never proud of the president that when he walked away from the second Kim Jong-un meeting and refused to acquiesce and allowed them to have a nuclear weapon, so he walked out. So, but since that
Yeah, I mean, we never should have allowed them to have nuclear weapons. It's freaking Kim Jong Un. It's a little crazy fat man. Hello, Neo. How's it going? Right. But anyways, yeah. No, I think this guy is definitely. That's a really bad photo. Come on, man, Fox. Why you gotta do the guy like that? The guy looks like he just found out that his daughter's gay. Oh my god. Okay, I'm going all right. So we're gonna move on from that. We're gonna hop into our next story developing here, and now, oh yeah, I did hear these guys were kind of afraid of that guy.
Thought that the president's summit in Alaska with Vladimir Putin was going to be a disaster. In fact, even before the summit occurred, he said that Trump had handed Putin a win. In fact, Trump went to social media to criticize Bolton for those comments. And now, a few days later, we have this. We don't know there's a link, but we certainly know this is a president who has promised retribution.
Yeah, Mrs.
Retribution, you guys dragged his name through the mud for like more than almost 9 years at this point, right? Like almost 10 years. 2016, yeah, about 9 years you've been dragging this guy's name through the mud. I'm not surprised that he's finally decided to go after you. Don't be surprised when you use weapons that have not been made yet, or weapons that are so-called shouldn't be used. Use those weapons against your enemy. Don't be surprised when they use those same weapons to you.
Chilling. It really is.
Chilling. She's just sad that it's being used against her at this point. It's literally all it is has been reversed. Except these people have actually these people have no problem laughing, grinning, smiling, celebrating, being exotically happy when their so-called enemies is having the exact same thing happen to them that they're complaining about right now. It's absolutely chilling that you can actually be MAGA. Am I MAGA? I like most, keyword most, of what they have done. Not everything. I'm not a Trump supporter. I don't believe he's a deity or anything like that. I think he's done some fantastic things. I support his ideas. I don't support the actual human being. That's one thing a lot of people can't do, is they believe that they have to support a person. No. You can support their actions. Like with the Jeffrey Epstein case with Trump, we'll get to that. I don't think he really did a good job in the beginning. I think he lost a lot of people's trust with that. He lost my trust with that back in 2016. I think he should have put Hillary Clinton in jail. He ran on it. I was disappointed when he didn't. So, what has he done good? Well, let's see. Let's go through the list. Quite frankly, he's gotten rid of DEI. Thank God. He has essentially stopped how many wars? Pakistan, India. He's almost stopped 3 wars. He's in the middle of stopping Ukraine and Russia, which I believe, watch this, he will. Flip it, do whatever you want with it. Do I believe Russia should get as much land as they are going to probably get? I don't think they should get any, but they have nukes, and they have essentially, India said he didn't. Well, Pakistan's general nominated him for a Nobel Peace Prize for it. So take that as you will for information. He's also, he's on his way to fixing the economy with the tariffs. He's actually increased the stocks of the steel industry by tenfold. I know personally because I bought stocks before the beginning of his presidency, and they were in the shitter. I also bought stocks before the beginning of his next presidency in the American food economy, and literally 3 months after he's been in charge, those stocks have jumped a good 10-15%. So of course, yeah, he's doing good with the economy. He has punished China extremely with his tariffs. I think he should punish them harder. I can keep going, but this isn't. I mean, I can literally just keep going and going and going and going. But this isn't what it's about. So again, I could support someone's ideas. I can support their actions. I don't have to support the person 100% of the time. Again, with the Jeffrey Epstein thing, I think he handled it very poorly. Do I believe he? And I've said this before. He backpedaled on terrorists every time. This is a fundamental lie that people don't really actually understand how it works. He literally wrote a book on negotiations called The Art of the Deal. If you actually look through the book, a couple of sections where it literally says, if you come in super, super high, sorry, cameras too. If you come in super, super high, the other person's expectations is going to be more higher in regards to price. Now they're going to obviously, no, we can't do that. So you say, okay, you meet in the middle. What I did was I took that strategy. I got a job recently. Watch this. I took a strategy from his book and I implemented it in real life. Check this out. I literally got a job a week ago. Yeah, a week ago, 6 days ago. And I'm in the process of actually having the job being done. And essentially they said, hey, we will be happy to hire you for $17 an hour. I'm like, okay. Can you give me $17.50 an hour? And they said, whoa, that's a little bit too much. I'm like, okay. Can you meet me in the middle around $17.25? Which is actually back in my head where I wanted to be in the beginning. And they actually said, yeah, we can do $17.25. Start out high, meet in the middle where you actually wanted to be. Then you give a couple of things up. That's called negotiation. So when you say he backpedaled every time, no. He started extremely high, knowing full well he was probably going to get around here. And he was happy with getting around here where he wanted to be in the first place. But still, the tariffs are paid by you guys. It only does harm Americans. Wow, no. But still, the tariffs are paid by you guys. It only does harm Americans. No, that's not how it works. So, tariffs. God, go through this. Tariffs are made to force companies to bring jobs back to America. That's the purpose of them. And also, the purpose of tariffs are so companies can't specifically hire outside, harming Americans outside of America, being set to have the same product being brought in. Talk about tariffs right now. Like I can only have to wrap my head around this. We're talking about this, but I will. That's a whole new video. I will go on that, but Americans aren't the only ones who pay the tariffs. That's not even an argument I'm gonna aim to argue with, because that's a false premise argument. Moving on from that. So yeah, don't be surprised when ladies or people just in general use weapons that were used against them.
Listen, John Bolton and I disagreed on many things back in the days when I was serving in public office, but I don't think very many people that know John Bolton would argue that his beliefs were intellectually sound. You could disagree with him, and that he gave a lot to this country in terms of time and his intellect and his work ethic.
Yeah, he gave a lot of time to this country, suckling off the government teat for money, and also pushing wars with Kim Jong-un and fucking Afghanistan. And yeah, no, I'm not a big fan of that guy. We're gonna move on from him.